We're back for our final challenge. So as we begin, we're going to go ahead and jump to it and start in part one. Go back and watch that other video before this one that explains the background of the project and everything. The only thing I will mention to summarize is that each one of these data values represents the number of words spoken in a day by a certain person, and they identify by male or female. So in the spaces below, provide the mean, variance, and standard deviation and range for each of these samples. So in our last video, we showed the example of finding the mean of the male population. So we can go ahead and find the average of the female population as well in a similar way. So we go to equals average in Excel, and then we can click and highlight all of these, and that should calculate our average. Alrighty. Now, as a reminder, all of these cells are rounded to be in 2 decimal places. If we scroll down here, we can come down to our self-grading area. Note that our score has gone up, which means we found that correctly, and we can continue on. Okay, I will not find all of the female statistics here because it will be very similar to finding the male statistics. So for the purpose of the timing of this video, I will focus on, for part one, the male data so that you can also find the female statistics, replicating a lot of these ideas. Again, mainly to make the video shorter. Okay, variance for a data set, if you remember that in Excel, is equals VAR. And because we're working with a sample, we want to use the var.s, which stands for sample. We can come over here now and click and highlight. And again, I'm holding down my mouse while I'm dragging over there. Alrighty, close parentheses. That is our variance. I'm gonna go check to make sure that that was correct. And our score has gone up again. Yes, okay. Coming back up here, standard deviation, as a reminder, STDEV.S. Again, that .S stands for sample. And that's what we're looking for, is the standard deviation of this sample. Again, you will be finding both these statistics for the males and the females. But in this video, I'm demonstrating it for the males for the purpose of the main ideas of the final challenge. Okay, our score has gone back up. We're good to go. Our range, I'm going to come back to this one. So if you notice in part B, we are finding the 5-number summary. And in the 5-number summary, we do find the minimum and the maximum. And if you remember, the range of a data set is the maximum minus the minimum. So I'm going to go ahead and find the 5-number summary here and then come back and find the range. It makes it a little bit easier in terms of referencing cells. Okay, so here there are several ways we could do this. We could either type in, min, so that will return the smallest value in that data set when I highlight it. Or if you remember quartiles, which is part of the 5-number summary, if we use this one, I'll go back really quick. If you use this one with the little yield sign here, we can highlight. And then remember, if we type a comma, it opens up all of these options. And the very first one, if you type a 0, you'll be finding the minimum value. So you can absolutely do either one of these. You can either use the minimum function or the quartile function with 0, because this is the 0th quartile, technically. Okay, let's go make sure our score increased. Yes, it did. Moving on. We can find the quartiles for this in that exact same way for all of these. So use that quartile function. We're going to be highlighting this data set, comma, and then you can select which one. So again, Q1, we're looking for the first quartile or the 25th percentile. So I just mentioned you could use the minimum function for the minimum. For the rest of Q1, Q2, Q3, well, I guess also for the minimum and the maximum, you can use the percentile function as well. So if you remember, and it's pointed out here, the 50th percentile is the same as Q2. So if you wanted to use the percentile function, you could, and in that probability part, you would be typing 0.50 for Q2, 0.25 for Q1. You could type 0 to find the minimum because that is the 0th percentile. But here we are looking for Q1. Okay, you'll find all of these in very similar ways. I'm going to go ahead and find the max by using this function just to show you. So max here equals max returns the largest value. So I can double click on that, click and highlight. Okay. And I didn't check the score right after this one, so it should have gone up, you know, twice however much. So I'm going to venture to say it did. So it's still increasing, which is great. I will not find these two here just again so that we can continue with this video. Actually, I will use the percentile function just to show you. So we can, if you remember this percentile function, we can use this data set, highlight, comma, and again that K stands for the probability, and that means the probability less than that value. So for Q2, there's 50% of the data above and below, so we use 0.25. For 0.50. For Q1, we would use 0.25. Okay, so when we do that, we can come down here and check to make sure this increased, and it did. So we're good to go. Okay, so that'll be it for video 1. So right now, I just wanted to walk through part 1 for the descriptive statistics. These were things we studied earlier on in the semester. And again, you will be completing all of these. I'm just showing a few for the video so that it won't be too long. But again, as a reminder, please slow me down if you need to. Go to the gear icon in the bottom right and change the speed that you're playing me if you want to set up your Excel final challenge project right next to mine and kind of reproduce what I'm doing in here. Okay, in the next several videos, we will jump into the rest of our final challenge.